So the visual aspect of computing, the screens that we look at every day, is probably the most crucial. Until we get that implant into our brain, it's definitely going to be the most crucial aspect to computing for us. Now, with us now is Mike from Samsung. He's the guy that's kind of clued up into the latest technologies from Samsung in terms of visual displays. What do you guys call it, Mike? Visual environments?
Yeah, we call it visual display. In fact, it incorporates mainly TV and monitor, Reichardt. And you probably know us very well for our visual displays. We've been doing this for many years now. In fact, we've been number one in this environment for around 17 years now. We're very proud of that fact. But bringing some great technology, obviously to moviegoers and entertainment seekers, but to gamers as well, because this market is getting huge, and we realize that opportunity, and we want to make sure that we enhance the gaming environment.
Now, let's be honest, you don't have to sell Samsung monitors to me. We know you guys are everywhere, iPhones, smartphones, a lot of the branded panels are Samsung. What are some of the newest technologies we can look forward to? I mean, it's already pretty spectacular what a gamer can get for his money. I mean, TVs have essentially dropped in price to such a way that you can use a big screen TV as your computer monitor. But obviously, resolution's always a thing. What other technologies are there to look forward to?
Yeah, I think it's actually a complex environment. It's not just about buying a 43-inch TV or 65-inch TV or 85 or God knows. We have 98-inch TVs now, at least in the mainstream. We have 98 inches, and you're quite right. The pricing of TVs has come down quite rapidly over the time. I remember when we first launched a range of TVs called Neo QLED. That was in 2018. They were pretty expensive. I mean, the technology was great, and they were at the forefront of innovation, but they were pretty expensive. They're not as expensive as what they were back then. We're into our fifth version of these Neo QLED TVs, and of course, one of the things that they offer is the environment, at least for a gamer, to enhance their environment. You spoke about resolution. Resolution, by the way, happens to still be very important. These both come in 4K and 8K sets, which is interesting. And a lot of people ask me, but 8K, I mean, how much content is coming out? In fact, the gaming environment is starting to develop 8K content. We know there's a game coming up called The Lies of P. It's kind of loosely revolved around Pinocchio, but that's coming out exclusively in 8K content. And it's going to be very interesting to see that when it's launched in August. It's going to be interesting to see that on a Neo QLED 8K set. But what's also interesting and also very important for a gamer is the refresh rate. TVs now commonly come out at 120 hertz refresh rate, but the Neo QLED takes it all the way up to 144 hertz. And you rightly said that they're not only console gaming on this environment, but they are also connecting PCs. So not only using monitors at high refresh rates, but also using PCs to connect to their TVs. And we do a range of TVs now in this range from 43-inch to 98-inch. A gamer will probably know that a slightly smaller screen is more important because they don't lose time looking from left to right on the screen. So we saw that opportunity and bought this range of TVs in at 43 inch as well. But if you're a casual gamer, a console gamer, you want a big screen, we go all the way to 98 inch, and this is proving to be very popular with our users.
I can't even imagine having a screen that size right in front of me. I'm going to have to look straight up at the ceiling.
You may need to move more than 1 meter away of that screen, but okay. There's some people out there that look to for a big environment, you know.
I think what's more practical at the moment are those curved monitors. I think that is where the practicality lies. I mean, it's still very niche. I mean, it's not really for everybody, but if you want to go fancy with your monitors, wrapping a few of those around or even putting them in a vertical mode so you have a bit of a curve up towards you. I can see a lot of value in that. Especially for streamers.
Absolutely. I mean, we took a bash at curved TVs. You'll remember that, and totally ideal if you're sitting in front of the TV like you do a monitor. But monitor curved has really stuck. People that sit in front of a monitor and have a curvature, it's a lot more encompassing experience to sit in front of a monitor like that. But you rightly said, we are making huge monitors, 49-inch, and the newly released Odyssey Arc, a 55-inch behemoth, a really massive monitor. In fact, this can be in landscape mode, but you've probably seen it yourself, and you've probably used it in portrait mode, where it sort of curves. right over the gamer. This is quite unique because you can split this into 3 times 27-inch screens or windows, so they can enhance or develop it as they please. So they can have chat on one and video streaming on another. And of course, their game running on another screen. And this is a unique thing coming with the curved gaming monitors, but also the very large curved gaming monitors. A lovely enhancement to the gamer's environment.
Yeah, we used one of those at Rage last year, and it kind of changed my perception of those, the ultra wide. I mean, it isn't practical for everybody. Gamers, even, yes, there's especially if you're creating content and editing video, massive potential. Then you justify your purchase. But we all know that these things are rather pricey. What are we looking at more on the budget? What can you recommend from a Samsung point of view? If I'm on a budget, but I still want kind of the best that I can get for my buck in terms of monitors?
Oh, no, that's an absolutely great question. And you spoke about curved monitors being a bit sort of niche. I don't think they're as niche as they used to be. We, in fact, are running a range of Odyssey monitors from 24-inch all the way up to that massive behemoth at 55-inch. But a 24-inch monitor, Odyssey Monitor G3, will set you back around 3,999. So not absolutely backbreaking. You can get into the environment at 3,999. In fact, 24-inch, as you well know, is quite a popular size with gamers. We're positioning that with a lot of the gaming retailers, and it's doing particularly well. You can get in, like I said, at about 3,999, so not too expensive. And then you're part of the Odyssey world. That's your start. And as you grow up, or as you maybe get a better career or a better job, or God knows you're an esports millionaire, you can start buying some of the bigger monitors that we offer.
No, I've not been in the market. I mean, I live in front of computer monitors, so resolution I'm used to. They sit quite close to my face. My monitors are fine. In terms of TVs, though, where would you guide me at? Because we've looked at some TVs, but there just seems to be so many models out there. Right. I mean, am I good at buying just the cheapest thing I can find at the maximum at the maximum screen size? Obviously not. You want good resolution, right? What are some of those things I need to look out for?
I think it's like I said, it's actually a complicated buying process. And when people approach me and say which TV should they buy, the first question I ask them is what they're going to be using it for. And where it will be placed in the household. For instance, if they're going to put it in their main viewing area in a lounge, I would take the biggest size screen that you should have in that space. So if it's a very large lounge, sure, go as big as your budget can afford. But if it's a slightly smaller lounge, obviously we'll go a little bit smaller. And size is one thing that counts, but it really depends on how far you're sitting away from it. I think nowadays resolution is important. 4K is an absolute minimum. For TV, I don't think you should be buying anything below that. And simply said, if you want to enjoy content on some of the streaming services, a lot of that content now is coming through in 4K, and it really does change your life. But if you want to be a bit more future-proof and you want to get into the 8K versions, there's a lot of content arriving now. And like I said, on a gaming side, a lot of games are starting to be released now in 8K. And I suspect that that's going to be that next level of commitment. By the way, our 8K TVs are actually double the amount of sales than they were last year. We expect that to double again next year and double again the year after. So these things will start to become quite mainstream, and I suspect the content in 8K will also start to develop at a quicker pace and enable us to do that. Other things to look for, Reinhard, it's quite important, is what the TV set looks like. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but if you buy a nice thin TV set that you can hang on the wall, it just looks like a piece of art, frankly speaking. But if you buy maybe a little bit of a lower end set that's a little bit fatter, it can look like a bit of a brick and a bit of an eyesore, especially when it's off in the lounge area or in your living area. So looking for something a bit slimmer, something you can hang on the wall that looks like a piece of art, I think that would be another advice that I would give some of the users.
Now, for somebody that's using it as in gaming capacity, I mean, 8K, I think, is largely driven by PlayStation sales too. They see the stick on the box, they're future-proofing themselves. Obviously I don't think it's a need to invest in that unless the price is right. So, I mean, the 4K is barely used these days unless you do use it for gaming. But if you're sitting closer to your screen, what have you got that we should be looking at from a gaming point of view?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Neo QLED, you can get in either 4K or 8K, and it goes without saying that the 4K is a little bit more affordable, and certainly much higher sales than the 8K, and I guess that speaks towards affordability. I mentioned that we do 43-inch all the way to 98-inch. Of course, a 98-inch TV can set you back north of 100,000 Rand, but a 43-inch 4K Neo QLED, which is an awesome product, and of course a product that's designed when you sit closer to it, will set you back in the region of 12,999, somewhere around there, so not overly excessive, but giving you the absolute best quality panel at 144 hertz. So if you want to put a PC on there, you want to run it at 144 hertz, the TV is quite capable to look after that. And like I said, you can enter at about 13,000 Rand, which is really not bad.
Yeah, look, with the imminent launch of GeForce Now in South Africa, I think you're going to get a lot more gamers, PC gamers, looking towards larger screen TVs rather than a smaller computer screen to make it that console experience from a notebook potentially. So we are in for exciting times. Mike, I know you're a busy man. You have many places to go to. Thank you for your time and the update. But I definitely want to chat to you again. There's a lot of questions I have about the TV side of things. So let's make a plan to chat again soon. And
let's chat again. Look, I can speak all day, Raykot. So you let me know and we can speak again.
We'll set up an hour meeting next time. Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks very much, Raykot. Have a good day.